Live. Live.
Live.
Live. We're live.
Good morning, this beautiful Monday.
It's an awesome Monday.
It is. It's beautiful outside.
It's great outside.
How was your weekend?
Good. Went to an event and saw a whole bunch of friends, so that was fun. And
Friends are good.
Friends are good. Yeah, no, just ran into a whole bunch of people and had some fun that way, and getting some new things ready, and had a mastermind on Saturday. So,
Mastermind.
yeah, so cool.
Did you learn lots of stuff?
Yeah, I did. I actually learned to listen to guidance is what I did.
You can't listen to guidance.
It's a novel concept, but it's there for a reason, dang it.
Guidance.
Yeah, it's just one of those of, when you've got a sounding board to be able to share some things with, it's good. It's good. So did some of that, variety of different things that just worked out nicely.
That's always good.
Yep, very much so.
I spent the whole week doing prom.
Yeah, I saw the picture. Your daughter looked lovely.
I had to do 3 different people's makeup, including one guy, which that was new. I think the guy's eye makeup turned out better than any of the girls.
Well, good morning, Ray. I was going to say something, but I won't.
Oh. They had a great time.
What's that?
They had a great time.
That's awesome.
My daughter didn't come home till 4 a.m. That was a little different. They binged watched movies at a friend's house.
Yeah.
The Marvel movies.
Cool.
So I was just looking, it looks like a couple of these bullet points we didn't fill in. I've got noodles into cardboard, silent, sentient motion beef.
I'm suggesting that's not what you're trying to promote.
No, that's just whatever they put in there.
Here's so it's the same kind of thing. We're about to embark on the Think and Grow Rich World Tour.
Uh-huh.
And so, I have created all sorts of collateral and social posts and using posting products, and so I, pre-wrote posts and schedule them out, and, I schedule them out for 3 months, and I've done all this different stuff, right?
Okay.
And all of a sudden the promoter sends me a text. He goes, here's your event. Your events page on your website has nothing. And I went, I have thought of everything else except my events page. It's like, duh. So anyway, I built that last night.
It seems like a great idea, right?
Well, it was just, I worked so hard to create copy and to create social media posts and create all this other stuff,
Yeah.
The most obvious is the one I forgot. And I go, oh, thanks for calling it to my attention. It was craziness. But it's just funny how
we get caught up in everything and then we forget.
I created 13 tweets, and I created 14 tweets and 14 Facebook posts and 14 LinkedIn posts, and just created all this other collateral, and then automatically scheduled, and then, except forgot the most obvious.
Right.
Oops.
It happens.
Oh, there's fake Latin again.
Not anymore. Oh my gosh, that's
so big. Look, there it goes.
It got all weird. Can I expand this?
I don't know, can you?
I don't need your sass.
Wow.
Let's see if we can change up. Can I get ones like, there we go.
I don't know. Can you?
Dude. Dude.
I think it's funny.
Dude. Oh my gosh, that's like the longest review ever.
The longest, nicest thing anybody's ever said.
Sometimes you have to pare it down.
Yeah, I know I'm this awesome, but calm yourself down, will you?
Oh my gosh.
Yes, no, maybe.
Yes, no, maybe so. I think she got a little too. There is a term called professional stinginess. I've experienced this in my professional life so often where the
What?
experts won't share their knowledge for fear they may lose business or you'll steal their ideas. So they won't have as many clients because they gave all their secrets away. David and Jenna are both so knowledgeable and so generous with their times and skills. See, I think I can cut it down to almost just this right here.
Okay.
Do that like ... It's still really long. Like super long.
What are you going to do to fix it?
Take some away. I think that seems a little bit more reasonable.
That's good.
So you have your global world tour here. Where's your favorite place you're going to?
Well, San Diego would be great. My sister's out there, so it's always fun to go to San Diego. Orlando is always fun. That's part of the tour. Tampa is fun. And we're going to pretty much every city worth going to. I mean, not worth going to, but we're doing Boston, we're doing New York, we're doing Tampa, Orlando, San Diego, San Jose, Anaheim. I'm thinking about we're doing Phoenix, San Antonio, Houston, Dallas. So a lot of good cities. I mean, it'll be fun.
Lots of good cities.
What becomes fun about tours is really the camaraderie that gets created between the speakers and the teams and all the stuff, because you're in it together.
Yeah.
You've got these 2-day events that you're a little bit of a traveling circus, And,
kind of exactly what it is.
well, I mean, it is kind of, it's like.
I mean, it's not like a elephant circus, but.
No, but I mean, you get to go meet a lot of really cool people and do a lot of really cool stuff. And I mean, that's exciting. It's fun to do. So, I mean, that's the best part. Is going and being able to.
Didn't you say that was the best part, was sitting with all the speakers behind the stage?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the other side, is you hang and get to know all the speakers and all that stuff, and you find out, believe it or not, they have the same issues you have. They get dressed the same way you do.
Amazing,
it's a novel concept, right? They've just had either more experience or different experience, or got on a different path sooner, or I mean, there's a lot of. It's like I went to. There was an event in town, and I spoke at it last year, but I wasn't. I didn't speak at it this year.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't asked to. I mean, if I'm asked, I do it. If I'm not, I don't. Novel concept. But I went to it anyway because I had some friends that were speaking.
Okay.
And so I dropped by and, kind of a little bit as moral support and just to have it's nice to have a friendly face in the audience.
It
At
is.
least you have one person that likes you, and I mean, there's a lot more than that, but I'm just saying it's nice to have that friendly, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Friendly.
I like it when somebody does that for me. So if you like it for you, then go do it for somebody else, right?
I agree.
And so I went, and it was really cool because afterwards, this friend just said, "I just really want to thank you for showing up today." And I said, "Well, absolutely." And they said, "No, you don't seem to understand. There are a lot of people who, in theory, should want to support me,
Mm-hmm.
who have chosen not to, and it hurts. And here you are making the attempt and the effort to be there for me." And she just said, I just really want you to know how much it means to me." I go, "Awesome. I never would have guessed it meant that much to you." I mean,
Aw.
it was really cool, right? I mean, it does mean a lot to you, but I'm just saying, that next step. And so what was funny is on the third day of the event, I went back again, and I was sitting. They had a speaker's lunch or a kind of a VIP lunch going on, and I sat
Mm-hmm.
just outside, and they had it just blocked off by drapes.
Okay.
And so I was sitting behind the drapes and heard this friend share to the group, and so I just posted to their Facebook, another great job of sharing great content to help people. Well done, right?
Okay.
And the promoter came out around the screen looking for somebody totally different, and happened to see me, and we're friends. And all of a sudden, he walked back into the room and he said, "And I'd like to have somebody else come up here." Now, he doesn't know that I'm doing this. And so I'm pretty sure he's going to be fairly shocked. But I want him to come say a few words to you all. Mr. Scott Schilling. And I was like, "Okay, then." So it was fun. So I did get to say a few words to the group, and basically the words that I said was, as speakers, if we want support, then we should support. Yeah, novel concept, right? If you want support from friends and whatever, then when they're in town, support them.
Mm. Seems like such an obvious.
It seems tremendously obvious. It wasn't like it wasn't hard to do. It wasn't, but it just has to be conscious, right? And so the lesson from it, though, I did it because I did it. I wasn't working to get anything out of it.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that's so interesting about it, though, is how much it meant to how many different people that somebody would just care about them. It was a great lesson. It was actually a great lesson of, it doesn't take that much to add to somebody's existence, to their life, I had a friend send me a private message this morning and, just asking some questions and doing some stuff. And I said, just, share your truth. You're awesome.
Share your truth.
Well, because she is in cancer remission. And she went about it very holistically, very spiritually, and all her cancer markers. And in other words, she's in full remission right now.
Uh-huh.
And nobody understands. Her doctors don't understand why. So it's one of those, and she kind of willed her way to remission. In other words, it's far more the power of thought and the power of belief and the power of all that. And so she's been asked to speak to a group of probably cancer patients, cancer survivors, a mixed group. And she's not totally sure how it will play out. And I said, all you can do is share your truth. Your story is your story. It's like my story. And that's what I said to her. I said, you and I share a very similar path. When I share that I've had a cerebellum stroke, people go, there's no chance you had that happen because you wouldn't be here or you'd be, impaired in some way. And I said,
Yeah.
this is my truth. I mean, this is the only experience I've had with this. I understand not everybody experiences it this way, but I can only share from what I have experienced, right? That's kind of what I was, and I think that's one of the reasons that she and I are friends, is because I just said, all you can do is share from your experience.
Right.
Nobody's trying to say
Exactly.
your experience is the same as somebody else's experience, but nobody else can also take away your experience. This is how you've come through it. So it's interesting. There've been a couple in the last 3-4 days. There's been a couple of those situations. Kind of cool.
We have lots of
cool.
exciting things going on.
There really are. There really are a lot of things.
I am working on a sales page over here,
I see that.
finishing up where we left off.
You're working on a sales page and ignoring me totally. It's perfect.
I am not ignoring. I'm listening, active listening.
Yeah,
I feel like we covered this recently.
Yeah, that's funny, isn't it?
No, but those are all very good points. Like, I especially like the idea of if you want help or if you want people to come to your stuff, that you go to theirs, you support them.
Yeah, it's
like that's the key that everyone's missing.
Well, it really is. It's like, well, my time's important. Well, so everybody's time is important. I mean, it's like, it is what it is. If you want more of, I mean, the bottom line principle there is, if you want more of something, you probably have to give some of it away first. If you want more money, you probably have to invest more money. If you want more time, you may need to invest more time to learn how to do things more efficiently. But sometimes you have to give away what you want in return. That's the ultimate teaching principle. See, you didn't know that you could see Jena building a funnel and get training all at the same time.
All at the same time. I feel like that's probably true for just about everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like people who are like, oh, I need more love in my life, or I need more friends. I'm like, yeah, go give it.
Yep.
Go give it. So the part that I'm here at this juncture in the sales page is one of the aspects on the high-performing homepage, but also for sales pages, was identifying the easy steps for someone to get what it is that they want. So in this case, I'm going to like fill in some blanks with some images. I'm not going to create custom images right now for every single one. That takes too long. But I did break it down into 4 steps. And one was knowing where you're at and knowing where you're going. Because in business, if you don't know those 2 things, you can't shoot a target that you don't know where it's at.
That's why you use a shotgun.
You still gotta know where the target is. In general,
just scatter the shot that way.
I mean, you've got some buckshot, you might get a little lucky, but that's totally taking a golden bullet barrage method. It's very ineffective and inefficient. I will break out some military terms, man.
I didn't say it was efficient. I just said it's a possibility. No, but that's what most people do is they shotgun as opposed to using a sniper rifle.
Go through a lot of ammunition that way. And the world has to fight against the United States. They actually use that as a predominant way to hit our aircraft, because if they turn their radar on and take the sniper approach,
they're dead.
We're going to shoot their radar. Their radar's gone.
They're dead. They're gone. Yeah,
Saddam
no, I
used
mean
to
that's
do that.
if well, and that's I actually used to use that. You know, in World War II, what did they do? They created flak fields, right? They just threw stuff up into the sky, had it explode, and hoped the planes flew through it.
Yep, it's called barrage fire.
Barrage fire. See, that's the technical word. I just used flak fields, but
I don't know the term flak field, so.
Well, because when a bomb, it creates flak, shrapnel.
Yeah.
Right. So, right. So you throw it up and you let them fly through it as opposed to, and so in selling or presentation, that's part of it as well. There's a variety of potential benefits. So you put out multiple benefits until somebody grabs the one that strikes them. But you know,
the golden bullet. So you have the barrage fire, which is the golden bullet. You're hoping for that one golden bullet to magically hit the target.
Yes.
Evaluate where you are with your business with 12-month lookbacks, and define goals with worksheets that help you break big task down to size. Learn how. Not feel like nobody wants to learn how to do anything anymore.
This would be true. So
this can mean you learning how to.
This goes back to brain science, actually, and what's happened with the millennial brain. The brain of the millennial and beyond has officially changed, and it's the third change in brain composition in all of time.
Say it again.
There have been three great changes in the composition of the brain, the wiring of the brain, in all of time. And that's what we're facing, is we're living through one of those, which is why millennials are wired differently than boomers and even Gen Xers.
Like wires?
The brain is literally three great changes in the brain. The first was about 750 BC when they started tapping pictures onto the walls of caves and went from simple grunting, spoken word, to written word, hieroglyphics. The second great, so that caused a change in the brain. In other words, the only way that information was transferred was by voice, grunting. You know, this meant it was accepted, it was given out and accepted in certain ways. Then people started taking and chipping that onto a wall in hieroglyphics. So it was spoken word to written word. The second major change happened in about 1440 when Gutenberg invented the printing press, because now written word became printed word.
Okay, I
You
kind of see where you're going.
you went from the um, monks having to handwrite books, which
Ugh,
was very expensive, to
and
hand
limited.
copying and limited, to printed words, where now you could make learning duplicatable. And back in those days, the nobles actually had people and taught them how to read so that somebody could read for you. Well, that eventually came into everybody had the ability to learn how to read. And of course, not everybody has, but that is possible. And then the third great change in the brain came with going from printed word to digital word, the advent of the internet. And so what has happened is in all previous generations before that change, the place to hold knowledge was here in the brain. So all generations prior to the internet were taught to accumulate and hold knowledge in the brain. But as soon as the internet became available, it was no longer about holding knowledge in the brain. It was about being known where to find knowledge. So in the millennial generation and below,
Yeah.
this is the access to knowledge. So therefore, not as much knowledge is being held, nor is there a desire to hold the knowledge. They simply want to know where to find the knowledge, which in theory is okay. But what happens if your access battery runs out? You now don't have the knowledge. You have to wait until you have access again. So this is what's going on, and that's why there's such a change. The reason that there's such a difference in understanding today ultimately is the internet, because it has caused the change in the way the brain formation is done, all those other kinds of things. So
Okay.
yes, there are still people who want to learn, and there are people who have zero desire to learn. They just want to know where to get the answer. So you have two very distinct markets on the planet right now. You have those that still want to learn and hold knowledge because that's what they're accustomed to. And you have those who have zero desire to learn knowledge because that's what they're accustomed to.
Now, see, I think to some of it, it's not that as a millennial, we take in so much information to this point that it's almost overload. So it's not just the fact that we don't want to learn. We'll learn, but we don't necessarily learn something way ahead of time without knowing that we need it. So there's no reason to go learn how to do X prior to needing that X as a tool. We know that whenever we need to do something, we can pull up YouTube because of videos like we're doing here and learn how to fix a washing machine or start a fire. Anything that we need to do, we can learn on YouTube.
That's my point, is you just know where the knowledge is. So you
But
go.
we learn it. What I'm saying is we still
Well,
learn it. We just
yeah,
don't learn it before we need it.
yes. I mean, true. Agreed. But the point is you go, yeah, you don't learn it in advance, so you learn to go access it. That's the difference. I mean, that's a huge difference if you think about it. Whereas,
But I mean, I see it as like a step forward. I mean, it's definitely
I'm
to
not,
change everything. Like,
it's not
no,
a,
I know.
it's
We
not
are
a,
looking at
I'm not making a judgment.
the need
I'm,
of college looks like less and less to us. It looks like an overpriced system of knowledge that we don't even know if we're going to actually use in business.
totally agree.
Or you can go
But-
somewhere
but-
else
but-
and learn business.
But that's the point. Think about it.
Mhm.
That's why you have University of Phoenix. That's why you have online universities. Why do I
I
have
think
to
it'll
actually?
even go further than that. I think universities.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt of that.
The moment MIT decided to put their lessons online, I think changed everything for education.
Well, yeah, but they're being adaptive to this new brain theory, this new brain science, and that is that there is less desire to learn and hold knowledge, because that's what a hard drive is for. But what's the potential issue in all that is that when critical knowledge is needed, it's not available. I can't look it up fast enough. So in certain situations, if you don't have the knowledge, you got a problem. And so when you generally say, I don't need to learn that because I always have access to it, as soon as you don't have access to it, you got a problem. So that's the you need to know.
No, I get it. Like, we have land with absolutely no internet on it. Yeah,
Right.
there's no, once you're out there, you better know everything that you need to know to survive.
I'm about to speak for the Boy Scouts, okay? And it's amazing that, I mean, I got some of my merit badges in 1970,
Okay.
1971. I was looking through, in fact, I had them, when they asked me to speak, it was amazing because I found a box that had my merit badges in it and the award cards and the various things that came with that. But as an example, how to start a fire, I learned in Boy Scouts. How to carve, how to put together an electrical connection should a wire burn and break, to how to, simple first aid and health.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Those things were all learned in Boy Scouts, and they're still applicable today. And so if you looked at a kid and said, start a fire, he'd go, hand me a match. No, start a fire without a match. Oh, you can't, it's not possible. Oh no, it's very possible. But see, they don't have, if they don't have that experience, they haven't learned the knowledge to make that happen. And so that's why it's still so critical to get those life lessons. And that's the tough borderline. What's a lesson worth learning, consuming, and owning the knowledge yourself versus what can I rely that I can always access at a different time? That's actually what needs to be taught more of. What's critical to own, what's critical to, I mean, those are very important lessons these days. This is a very philosophical Monday.
Philosophical Monday. You know what? It works. I feel like.
Rayanne, are you with me on this? Give me a shout out.
I'm trying to remember the last time I knew someone who needed to know how to start a fire. Like, I've actually needed to know how to do it on our land. And I'm not going to lie, it was a little funny to watch my husband try to start a fire. I managed to do it. I think the harder part was another year we went, how to start a fire in the rain. That was a lesson I had forgotten. It had been so long since I learned how to do it. Got it done. Not
right,
easy.
But that's my whole point is there. Thank you, Rayanne. That's the differentiation point, and that's why I have said in multiple presentations at BGN and other places that some of us who still who grew up in a time where we learned, owned, and contained the knowledge have great opportunity today, because we self-contain knowledge that some people don't have, which makes us quicker in the decision-making process and all those things, because we have the knowledge to draw on to be able to make that quicker decision. Whereas somebody goes, well, let me check the information to make sure I make the right decision. We're in a very interesting time frame right now. It's what do you need to know versus what do you want to know? See,
I think we can also focus on information, though, that is relevant. I think our current school system is based off an agrarian, agricultural-based environment, even down to the calendar year, even though all studies point that it doesn't work, teaching us how to be good employees, even though that's not what's actually going to do us better. But that's what
right. we used to
companies want us to be.
It was the Industrial Revolution, and it was important that we taught people all the basics so they became good employees. Guess what? People ain't hiring anybody anymore. What we should be teaching everybody is how to be good entrepreneurs.
But see, then the Walmarts and the banks of the world don't want that either. They want you to be a good employee. That's why perfect attendance is so stressed, because then you can carry that over to your job. Entrepreneurs don't care about it.
I understand. Somebody said, it was so funny. So I was working out this morning. And it just so happens that the place at the sports club where the employees clock in was probably about 10 yards from where I was working out. And I was watching people at 6:59 making sure they clocked in before 7 o'clock, right? They were like elbowing each other. Hurry up, come on, I got to get it in before the clock changes, But the question is, does anybody count when you clock out if you're supposed to clock out at 5 when you clock out at 5:11? Has the common sense so gone away? I missed a minute in the morning, but I gave you 11 minutes extra later. I'm 10 minutes to the good. It's funny that that's the thought that went through my mind this morning as I was watching people racing to clock in.
You actually saw that today?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I actually witnessed it this morning. I've witnessed it because I just happen to be in that area virtually every morning at the same time. And so it just has been like this pattern that I watch, from 6:50, somebody will come up and they're very relaxed on how they clock in because they've got 10 extra minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But boy, you get to 6:58, 6:59, and everybody's elbowing each other out of the way. And it's like, I got to get clocked in by 7. Oh, if I don't get clocked in by 7, it'll go on my record.
It'll go on my record. I do know that. I remember working by the clocking in, man. Super fun.
I did that at a number of factories, on summer break from college and stuff like that. And I went, yeah, I want no part of this. This blows.
I remember clocking in at Brahms, just a high school job, and they were so serious about clocking in before you touched anything and clocking out for every minute that you're not actually working.
Yeah.
I'm glad I am unemployable at this point.
I'm pretty sure all of us are.
The thought of working 40 hours was just yeah, no.
Yeah.
I don't.
I would love to only work 40 hours.
Well, that's the entrepreneur. Was it Mark Archie was commenting that entrepreneurs are the only ones who will work 80 hours to, on average, make less than minimum wage.
Yeah.
And be happy when they are at zero debt.
Yep.
Like, not that, oh, I made $100,000 this year. No, I broke even and I'm no longer in debt.
It's all that is extremely true. It's fascinating when you really think about it. But that's what, again, as a trainer, it's interesting. Sometimes you have to help people understand what they're supposed to learn or what's available for them to learn.
Makes sense.
It's just like, while I am enthralled and have become a decent funnel builder, not my gift, nor do I want it to be. But having the knowledge has helped us in business already. It's helped us move some projects forward faster. It allows me to be able to audit and help build the funnels with a professional like you. Because I have the understanding, we can work together and therefore do things better and faster because you have the knowledge. But if you have zero knowledge, it's like, well, can you get it to do this? No. No, why not? It doesn't do that. It's a machine. It's a machine.
It's funny how that works.
Well, it's funny because I had somebody buying product yesterday who sent me a thing and said the coupon code is sending an error message. And it's like, dang it. And so I went into it and I realized that I learned that the last time around, I just forgot it. And so I created the coupon in a very similar fashion, which created instead of a integer, it created a 158.47693, and
a non-integer.
A non-integer, right? So I got the non-integer, and I was like, son of a, I already learned that once, but I did it again. So anyway, I went back in and I changed it quickly, and it's like, done. Amazing. So even though we have these amazing tools, if you put the wrong information in the amazing tool looks stupid. And the tool
is
what the
amazing tool looks stupid.
Exactly.
God. I understand what you're saying.
Well, I fixed it. And all of a sudden the order went through, and it's like he's all happy and I'm all happy and we're all happy. Everybody's happy. It's like, awesome. Wish I would have done it right the first time.
That would be no fun. And this way the lesson was further embedded. I don't know if I like that. There we go. Ooh, I need some more space. Need more space. Ooh, not 220. There we go. Let's change color. And this is going to be like for onboarding. Let's see if I can change this color. I've got to learn the trick to change the color of text. All right, can I change that text? Because this concept that I'm very limited. I can't use the actual font colors. I'm having to guess. Not exactly right. Is frustrating. And there's got to be a better way. Gotta be a better way.
I bet you there is.
But I'm just, because it's a text function, I'm wondering if it's a completely different function, so they're far more limited or something. There has to be some kind of limitation. All right, there was a page I was saving. I still have it open. No, I do not. Let's see if I can remember the link. Kartra. Maybe I'll run it over here. I was trying to look for Kartra's onboarding because they were pretty specific. Kartra.com welcome. No. Was not welcome.
What? What you talking about?
I'm trying to guess what the onboarding page is. I looked at it, I was like, I'll remember which one that is. Yay, let me go bring it over here. Oops, helps if I don't put other stuff in it. Congratulations, you're now a Kartra member. See how welcoming that is?
That's beauteous.
Better than thank you for registering.
Point. Thank you for spending money with us.
You are now you'll receive 4 emails today. That's like overkill.
What?
I know, right? Let us know if you need the
4.
Kartra support portal. Join our Facebook group. Kartraverse training portal, the latest tips and weekly Kartra updates. Oh my gosh, see, like so much information. They've got 4 on this one. Check your email inbox. Open our email link. I feel like you're building over there.
Nope, just watching. I'm not building.
Let us know if you need help.
I actually have 1, 2, 3 pages I need to work on today.
Nice. Let us know if you... Are you coming tomorrow?
I believe I am. Let me look at my schedule.
Let me look at your schedule.
Yeah, I do have to. I got a actually I got to confirm a podcast interview tomorrow, and then a book shoot.
Don't shoot books. That's not nice.
This is true.
Can't shoot books.
Well, I went in and I fixed that events page on my WordPress site. You know, it's really funny when at one time you thought, gosh, this WordPress is so easy. It's so good. And then you don't use it for a while. And you start using Kartra or Kyvio or something else, right? And you go, it's so easy. And then you go back to WordPress and go, holy crap, this stuff's Greek. I would like to say I didn't have an issue, but I would be lying. I had an issue.
You have lots of issues. They're all good issues, though.
That hurts. That was almost mean.
It was in love. BGN Insiders support. What do they call it? Support portal.
Support portal.
A support portal. And then I'm going to link it to the support portal, I think. Of course, they don't make this one easy.
Of course not.
I'll have to link that one later. But that after I've got to jump off because we have a call to set up or with our web dev team. But I do I'll go ahead and add the rest of this so that people can join the Facebook group, know where their training is, sign up for the weekly coaching calls. We'll do that with some webinar jam consistently.
Nice.
Any other questions before we hop off?
No. Look at all the stuff you built and how philosophical we got all at the same time.
We got super philosophical. Rain fires. Yeah, rain fires. That was super fun. All right, guys, we will see you tomorrow on Double Funnel TV, and we are going to finish out Business Growth Network. And before the end of the week, we are going to have a book funnel done for Business Growth Network for Mr. Scott Schilling here.
Yay.
It goes to, what can we take it to? We'll take it to some online training, take it to a bigger online training. So if you have
Yay.
any questions, jump on and ask while we're building.
Sounds good.
Bye, guys.
Have a wonderful day.